Oh, I didn't see you come in through the window. So I was looking at the statistics on the videos that I make here, the video that you're watching. So what I was noticing was the meat videos get watched more by almost double than anything else. Now this might be that my audience is mostly male carnivores. It's possible. I'm gonna play a little to that right now. But I'm also doing it because my family likes chili. I am not from the South. I'm not from Texas. I'm from Sacramento, California. I am not a chili man. I'm not somebody who knows a thing or two about chili. I know very little about chili. I just put things in a pot and I call it chili. So if this offends your delicate sensitivities about what chili is, I'm sorry. This is my chili. This is James's chili. This is my Le Creuset 8-quart stock pot. It's gonna get filled with a lot of water. It's gonna get filled with meat. And I'm gonna use some beans. I'm gonna use a couple of different kinds of beans. Dried beans, I'm not soaking them. You don't need to. Just aggressively boil them for about 20 minutes and then turn it down and just simmer the beans with the meat until everything falls apart, comes together, and you've got a beany, meaty, delicious, spicy, chili, smoky thing going on. And so that's what we're gonna do. I've got some leftover peppers. I've got some, this is a hatch. This is a hatch that's turning red. This is most likely a serrano based on, you know, what I know about peppers. These guys are wrinkly jalapeños. They're old. They look like Yoda, but they're jalapeños. And this I just bought, it's a poblano. So here's another serrano or a jalapeno. It's one or the other. So what do we got here? We're gonna do a bunch of stuff. We're gonna put a bunch of things in the pot and we're gonna sweat them. Okay, what that means is that means low temperature, some oil, onion, carrot. I'm gonna put carrot. Okay, this is my chili. I'm just calling it chili because it's got chili stuff in it, right? So it's chili. And it's got peppers in it, and it's got onions in it, and it's got garlic in it, and it's got, you know, it's got everything in it that I guess you would put in chili, but you know, it's my own recipe of chili. We're gonna make it a little healthier, I guess, by putting carrots in it. There's a whole lot of cutting and prepping I need to do. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut all this stuff up. We'll do some putting it all into the pan, load it up with some water. We're gonna put some beef bouillon in. You can use beef stock. You can make your own beef stock, go to town. I'm gonna use better than bouillon. Brown the meat. We're gonna sweat the veggies and then we're gonna put it all together and then we're just gonna let it cook. Boil and boil and boil. The beans are gonna go in at the beginning. Everything's gonna sit in the pot and it's just gonna boil 3 or 4 hours. We're gonna do a little washing, we're gonna do a little cutting. So I'm probably gonna do both of the hatches. Serrano, maybe a serrano. I'm gonna do a poblano, and we're gonna do a jalapeno. Onion, the whole thing, fine dice. Fine dice. Carrot, fine dice. Garlic, smashed, diced. All of these veggies go in here, low heat, olive oil, salt, and pepper. I'm doing the induction cooker, so I'm gonna set it on 3.5 to 4 is my setting, 275, 300 degrees. And I'm just gonna let it sweat down about 20 minutes. Loosely chop this down. We have done our prep. Welcome back. Hopefully this is only like 3 minutes into the video, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some olive oil, put it into our pan. I'm gonna turn this on to about 4 setting on the induction burner. I'm gonna take 1 big, 2 medium pinches of kosher salt. And that's how you start it. Like and subscribe, come back for part 2 in 3 days when it's done cooking. I think there's a world here where we can salt and pepper this and get it into the skillet and get this cooking while that sweats. So follow me for more tips. We're gonna brown here, and then we're gonna put it into here. This should be sweating eventually. This is a two birds with one stone approach to getting this all done so that we can actually eat tonight. The goal of this is going to be that all of meat is broken down and the beans are going to get soft, but they're not going to get so soft that they're going to break down. So they're going to have like whole beans and broken down meat when it's all cooked. It's going to take a while. Hopefully this is going to start sweating because we want to get the onions kind of translucent and we want to soften up the peppers. We're going to put this all into this pot. We're going to add water. We're going to add beef bouillon. We're going to add our spices in. Chili powder, ancho, chili powder, chipotle powder. That's about it. Chili powders, because it's chili, and it's got chilies in it. Ah, look at that. Yes! Ah, and it smells good too. It smells like peppers. More salt. Why? Salt is flavor. You cannot overcook this. It's going to go in here with water and be boiled to death. So don't burn it. But feel free to do whatever you want in terms of getting all this liquid out. You can pour the liquid out. It's not fat. It's mostly water that was stuck in the meat. And as you cook it, it comes out. This meat is stew meat. It's got flavor, but it is tough as nails. It's like shoe leather tough. So once it's cooked this much, you can't cut it with the spoon. You can't, if you bite one of these, you're going to be chewing on it for like an hour. This meat has to be cooked down. You can make this same chili recipe with ground beef. If you're going to use ground beef, I'd recommend using already cooked beans out of a can. Don't necessarily use ground beef and dry beans. You don't need to cook the beef that long, so you can have chili in 30 minutes versus here it's going to be 3 to 4 hours. And that's just because it's got so much cooking to do. There's no other reason. It's just like the beans won't get done before then. They take hours and hours to cook. And then the meat needs to be cooked down. So I'm happy right now to be doing this to get it cooked and going. It's not going to really break down any of the fibers here this fast. All right, let's do this. Let's just take this, put it in there. I'm going to put some filtered water in here just so I don't lose any of the beef flavor. I'm going to put that in there. I'm turning this up to 8.5. So we're going to go big. Marcello beans in. So what we're going to do, I don't measure things. So I'm going to do a healthy dosing of chili powder. And to a lesser degree, I'm going to do ancho chili. And the thing about ancho is it's more bitter. It's definitely got like a more chili vibe. Not a lot of heat, but it does have a bitterness to it. This is chipotle. This is heat. Heat and smoke. I tend not to use too much to make it too spicy because you can really spice up chili after the fact. You don't need to, be brutal to people now. 3 quarts, that's 3 quarts of water. This is an 8-quart stock pot. I'm going to go in with another 3, so I'm going to fill it up to 6 quarts of water. And I'm going to have it on kind of a hard boil, and I'm going to throw some Mayakoba beans in as well. Why? I don't know. I've never really tried them. And they're roughly the same size as the Marcellos, so. There's another 3. Better than bouillon beef. This is going to take at least 2 heaping tablespoons. So there's 1 and 2. Okay, everything in here is cooked, so you could theoretically, once it comes up to a boil, you could taste it and check your spices. I will have to add water to this at least once, probably twice over the next 3 or 4 hours. I am going to be boiling it pretty hard for, the beans need it for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then you can turn it down and simmer the beans. I'm going to be pretty aggressive because I want this sooner. Tomato paste, I don't know if it's a key component of chilies in general. I think it adds a great bite. So I am going to add tomato paste in. I'm not going to add it in right now. The acid in the tomato paste and too much salt will keep beans from breaking down. So I need them to get soft and be edible in time for dinner at some point tonight. So I'm going to hold off on the tomato paste for a couple of hours, and then I'm going to throw it in once the beans once they start loosening up and getting a little softer. You should like the video. You should subscribe. Always subscribe. You should leave a comment on what you think I'm doing wrong with my chili. If you have better ideas for chili, I'd love to hear them. If you have recipes, because I don't really use recipes all that often, but if you have a recipe, I'm all ears. We'll come back to this a little bit later. Ciao. And it's a little noisy in here. I got a dryer going. You can see hours have passed. I put the food in just before 5 o'clock. It's now almost 9 o'clock. So we've gone about 4 hours. Got some steam in the camera there. So this is what we're working with right now. I've broken up some of the stew meat by myself, just kind of pushing it up against the side of the pan. The peppers we put in were definitely peppers that needed to be in there if you like a spicy chili. I've added the tomato paste, so we've got this kind of beautiful reddish brown to go with all of the chili powders that have combined. You can see that there's absolutely almost no visible peppers left. You can see there's a little bit of pepper skin here from the hatch, but it's all turning into one big delicious pot of yum. And I can definitely say, having tried it a couple times now, just as I've been cooking, the flavor is great. I just really need to boil it down. So I'm going to put the top slightly ajar just to keep it from splattering. Does need to be stirred every 10 minutes or less as it thickens. The heat source on the bottom is going to be where it's going to start burning. So it's going to glom on and then it's going to burn. So you just keep the bottom loose and keep turning over that liquid. In the next 25-30 minutes, it should be good to go. So it's going to be a total of close to 5 hours of cooking, maybe 5.5 hours of cooking. And I need to lose another quart of liquid, which will thicken everything up and give you that kind of really hearty chili vibe that I think most people like. So again, I'm not a chili cook. I just throw things in a pot that I call chili. And I really like it. If you have ideas or comments about it, what you think makes a chili better, if you're from chili places like Texas or whatever, feel free. I know beans are not typically chili. I put beans in because of the health benefits of beans and the fiber benefits of beans. It's a choice. It's good with chips, it's good with cheese, it's good with rice. You can use noodles, so you can cook spaghetti noodles or penne or rigatoni or tortellini probably not. Rotini. You could cook any of those types of pastas and then take your chili and put it over it like a meat sauce, because it is at heart a meat sauce. Cook it a long time over a low to medium heat and get it thick, and then throw it over starch of your choice. Also might go great with garlic bread or a Texas toast. I'm gonna leave it here for the video for the end of this. So again, we're here, it's boiling, and it's already sticking to the bottom, so I'm having to break it up off the bottom. I'm going to turn power down a little bit. You can hear it going. I can feel it on the bottom of the pan. So yeah, every 5 or 6 minutes, give it a good stir, and when it thickens up, it will be good to go. Thanks for coming. Have a great day, have a great week, and go cook something. Thank you. See you next time. Here we go, the clever post-credit scene with stirring the chili. Looking good. It's cooked for about an extra 30 minutes, and here's some eggs over the top. It was delicious.